Costa Rica has a lot of natural beauty. And when you combine that with its year-round mild and consistent temperatures, that alone is enough reason for a lot of people to move and live in Costa Rica. However, there are some costly reasons why you might think twice about coming to Costa Rica. But Costa Rica's government is tipping the scales in your favor with a new proposed law that is designed to encourage more foreigners to move and live in Costa Rica, making Costa Rica possibly the best place to retire. Let's find out more.
Welcome to another gorgeous day in Costa Rica.
Indeed, it's another beautiful day, and we've got some great news for you because Costa Rica is finally moving forward with that new proposed law that is to encourage and, attract foreigners to Costa Rica. But why? And who are they trying to attract, Rebecca?
They're trying to attract investors, pensioners, and rentistas.
Well, now, why are they doing that? And that's because Costa Rica realizes that, if they can attract these people here, they're going to spend the majority of their money. And they found out that currently $500 million annually is being spent by those kind of people. Now, they want to do that so that they can kind of boost the economy. Because, hey, look, the facts are that COVID has hurt every single country. And I found out in 2020, Costa Rica saw just a little over 1 million visitors to Costa Rica. That sounds like a lot, but normally every year Costa Rica has over 3 million people that come to see Costa Rica. Costa Rica is doing whatever they can to boost the economy, and this is a big one. So this new law to attract investors, retirees, and rentistas, and those are people with fixed income, is going to help boost that economy. Now, not everybody is for it. Matter of fact, immigration doesn't like it at all, and that's simply because it's going to require them to do some work. Before we get into all those details, I want to remind you, way back on October 1st of 2020, we did a video and we really broke down the details about this new proposed law and how it's going to affect you, how it's going to actually save you a lot of money. We showed a lot of examples on how you're going to save money, when it comes time to bring in a vehicle, when it comes time to bring in your household goods, a lot of different things, and when you invest. I highly suggest go to the link above so that you can watch that video and get a real good understanding of how that law really works. And today we're going to give you an update because it's finally moving forward. Only a couple of days ago, it passed what's called the first debate. So I don't understand all of the legalities of the Costa Rican government, but it's passed the first debate and it has to go to the second debate. From my understanding, it's gone to the second debate, but we haven't got a decision yet. But from what I hear, they're really expecting this thing to pass, and hopefully it's going to pass soon. So, hey, let's go into the 6 things that Costa Rica is doing to incentivize and encourage you to come to Costa Rica. Because in reality, there's a lot of great reasons why you want to come to Costa Rica, but there are some costly reasons why a lot of people won't come. But Costa Rica is tipping the scales in your favor. So let's take a look. Now, it's important to realize that, in order to qualify for these benefits, the whole purpose is Costa Rica's looking at the long game. They realize that, hey, if you come to Costa Rica, you're going to spend your money here and you're going to have to pay Caja, which, is their health system. Now, that's not a whole lot of money. It's really cheap health insurance, and it's good health insurance, okay? So Costa Rica wants you to come, but you're going to have to qualify to be a resident. And once you qualify to be a resident, then you can take advantage of these 6 benefits that we're going to talk about now. There are some time frames for all of these things. And let me just read to you what I found, and I don't fully understand it, but it says the validity of the law. Those investors, the pensionados, the rentistas, the retirees, when they opt to enjoy these benefits, it's set upon the law that they will have to do so within 5 years of the validity of the law, and the benefits will be granted for 10 years. Hey, I won't pretend to know what that legality means. Why don't you just put it in plain English for people like me? But anyway, there are time frames. So whenever you do qualify to be a resident. 10 years later, I'm going to bring my stuff in, or a vehicle. So there are some time frames in that, and it's important that you know that. Number one, they're going to reduce the minimum capital investment for investors. So there's 3 real important or most popular residency categories. And those 3 categories again are what?
Investors, rentistas, and pensionados.
And so probably the most popular is going to be the retirement, right?
Right, the pensionados, the retirement.
That's right, because with only $1,000, you can qualify to retire in Costa Rica for that particular residency category. But for the investors, normally you would have to invest how much?
Normally $200,000. That's what it is right now.
Right now, it's $200,000. Now, that means that they would have to buy a $200,000 piece of property.
Well, it could be property, or a business, or a car, a vehicle, or a house, and any combination of those.
So it can be combined, so long as you can prove that you have indeed invested $200,000 into Costa Rica. But with this new law, if it gets passed, and we hope it will, then you're only going to have to invest $150,000, which makes it more affordable, and more people will be able to qualify for the investor category.
Right. And remember, it's not how much you think it's worth, is how much you actually pay for the property or
That's
vehicle
right. So
or whatever.
if I happen to get a super phenomenal deal and I can actually prove that the place is worth $500,000, but I only paid $100,000, I don't qualify, do I?
Right. It has to be what you actually paid, and you do have to prove it.
You do have to prove that you actually spent $200,000 now, or $150,000 when that bill does pass. Okay. Now, number 2, another great incentive, and this is a big incentive that's going to save you a lot of money, is that they're going to allow you to bring vehicles into the country completely tax-free and duty-free. Now, vehicles? How many vehicles?
Up to 2 vehicles, and they can be vehicles or transportation by air, by sea, or by land.
Air, land, or sea. Does that mean I can bring in a boat,
Yes.
a jet ski,
Yes.
a plane,
Yes.
a helicopter?
Yes.
We can buy our helicopter?
Yes, if we had the money.
Right now, you can push that $sign in the chat box, and you can donate. What? Maybe
$1,000.
a million?
A million.
A million? I mean, 1,000 won't get us. Might get us some fuel, but hey, you can donate for a helicopter, and I'll save you a seat. When you come to Costa Rica, we'll pick you up at the airport in our brand new helicopter. Import or bring in up to 2 vehicles. That's great news, because that's going to save you thousands upon thousands of dollars, because, hey, the facts are it is expensive to buy even a used vehicle in Costa Rica.
Right, and then you don't know what you're getting, where, how it's been taken care of. These roads are rough, so that makes it more of an incentive to bring your vehicle that you've taken care of, and
That's right. You can then buy you a vehicle in the United States, import that baby over. Now, it's important to note that if you're going to import a vehicle over here, don't go import your Honda Civic, because you may not find parts. It's important to know. That's why we say watch that first video, because you want to buy a vehicle that they do have parts in Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica is getting better and better. Matter of fact, I saw a Ford dealership. They do have a BMW dealership in San Jose. But it's important, if you're going to import a vehicle over here and you've got one of these rare vehicles, you may not be able to get it fixed in Costa Rica.
right.
So you want to do your research to make sure that you do import the right kind of vehicle. Here's a thought, though. What if, and this doesn't happen a whole lot, but what if someone steals a vehicle that I just imported into the country?
They make provision for that. It says that the law would allow you to then import another vehicle to replace the one that was stolen.
That's right. And I'm sure there's going to be, all kind of things that you're going to have to do to qualify, to show proof or whatever, because that's one of the things that some of the people that are opposed to this law are saying, hey, it opens up ways for scammers and things like that to happen, okay? And that's why it's taken such a long time, possibly, to get through.
Right.
They want to make sure that this new bill is going to encourage people, but it's also not going to be abused.
Right, and that's one reason they're writing into the law that you can't sell, like you can't bring your 2 vehicles in and then turn around and sell them within
a certain time frame,
Yeah, I'm
whatever
not
that
sure the
time frame
time frame.
is. Okay, so it's important to note that, right? You got this nice brand new vehicle, you bring it in, there was no import duties and no taxes. Wow, man, you can sell it for double what you paid for it and make some money. That would be a huge scam going on. So if you do, for some stupid reason, decide to sell it, well, Costa Rica's going to come back and say, guess what? You now get to pay all those import duties and taxes. Hopefully real soon we'll find out when this passes and we'll have more details, and that way we can give you another update.
Right, because the details may very well change in their discussion, in their debate. You know, they're going to debate every line item.
That's right. And so while we're talking about those 6 things today, you know, maybe some of those things will get dropped, maybe some other things will get added. So let's go on to number 3. So number 3, which is important for you to note, is that the money that's earned abroad, okay? So any money, foreign money earned, would not be taxed by the Costa Rican government. Now that's real important. And why is that important?
Well, it's important not because they're taxing it now, but because Costa Rica was considering becoming a worldwide
tax system.
So they were considering that, and that was making a lot of people unhappy. You know, I met a couple that they were applying for residency, but they halted the process because they wanted to find out first, are they going to pass that law where they tax?
Right now, they're on what's called a territorial tax, which means they only tax the money that you would earn here. So let's say that you had properties here and you was renting them out. Well, if you rent out properties here, then they're going to tax you on that rental income because you created that income within their territory. However, if they were to change to a worldwide tax system, that means that they would tax everything no matter where that income comes from. Now, I think that would be terrible for Costa Rica, and Costa Rica oftentimes will make a mistake, and when they make a mistake, will quickly rescind it, change it when they realize that if they were to do that, they would have a massive exodus of expats leaving the country because, you know what, people simply are not going to pay twice on their money. Right now, that's what the United States has. The United States has a worldwide tax. So guess what? Everywhere we make our money from, we got to pay tax on it. If Costa Rica was to do that, I'd have to pay twice on my money, and that would not be good for Costa Rica. With this new law, they're saying they would not tax your foreign income.
Right, because while it would bring in some revenue, I think it would also produce, like you said, a mass exodus of people.
It's important that you consider all of those things. And hey, if they pass that, that does look like a good thing. You wouldn't have to pay on that foreign income. So let's go to number 4. Now, number 4 is you're going to have a 20% savings on a transfer tax, which means whenever you buy real estate in Costa Rica, you will have to pay a transfer fee on that property.
Kind of like a title transfer tax.
It's a tax. Now, we go into more detail in that first video and some examples that you could look at right there. But anyway, whenever you do transfer that property from one person to another, there is a transfer fee, but you could save up to 20% on that whenever you do that within that time frame. So remember, everything does have a time frame. That's not a huge savings. Tax is only, I think, 1.5%. So 1.5% of a million, well, that's not a whole lot, but you would save 20% of that 1.5%. I go into detail on that other video. So the 5th thing, which is huge, and I'm really excited about, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited about, is the 5th thing is there's going to be a one-time exemption when you import your household goods. Now, that is huge. And you know, when people decide to come to Costa Rica, a lot of people just like us, we decided, hey, we're just going to sell all of our stuff because if we get here, we'll just buy new. And while, you know, in reality, in theory, that sounds good, it's really not as good as it sounds, is it?
Right. We decided to sell everything, and the problem with repurchasing everything was finding quality and the cost of things, because they all have to be imported. So you have the price and the cost, the import fee added to it. So you almost pay double for something. Something
That's right.
simple like a microwave costs twice as much as it does in the U.S.
That's right. When you're buying furniture and household appliances, things like that, it is very expensive. Now, you can go to San Jose and you can get quality. But keep in mind, if you go to San Jose and you buy a house full of furniture, well, now you have the hassle of having to move it to where you're living at, okay? So a lot of that expensive. So number 5 is bringing all your stuff here. Wow, how nice is that?
Yeah, because even here in San Isidro, you can find quality name brands, but the selection is limited.
So 5 is a huge, huge savings, because we've heard nightmares of people that says, well, I'm going to go ahead and ship my stuff over anyway. And when they do ship it over, they will go through and unpack every single item in that container. If you go and look at the other video, depending on whatever that item is, then there's a certain percentage on what they charge as far as that import fee. So exercise equipment, they might charge 25%. Beauty products, beauty things might be 50%. There's a lot of things, and it's just different. So they will inventory every single thing, unpack it, and it's not going to be packed back like you had it. Things get damaged. Things disappear. People have sticky fingers, okay? And we've heard horror stories how a guy paid a fortune to bring his tools in, and the majority of his tools disappeared after he paid the import fees on all the tools. So this number 5 is going to be a huge, huge savings and a huge advantage as to why you would want to come to Costa Rica.
Right. It would be a financial savings, as well as that they're not going to have to unpack everything and repack it for you.
That's right. Now, number 6 is okay, and I don't know whether this will happen or not. I certainly hope it does, but number 6 is a specialized expedited processing window that is supposed to kind of push your paperwork to the front of the line and help you get your residency a whole lot faster. Now, that would be great, because it does take anywhere from, a year and a half to 2 years to finally get done with your residency. But immigration is totally against it. Immigration does not, I don't think they're even happy about this bill at all. But right now, immigration is overwhelmed. They feel overworked. Everything is behind. So it's not uncommon that different departments in Costa Rica don't work together, even though they all realize this would be huge and would benefit Costa Rica greatly. Okay, so, hopefully all this is going to pass, and hopefully we're going to have an update real soon on all of that. But those 6 things are going to be huge reasons, or big reasons, why you would want to come to Costa Rica. For Rebecca and I, just the constant temperatures, the natural beauty is reason enough for us to enjoy and want to live in Costa Rica. These other costly things now may be what will push you over the edge to make you decide to come to Costa Rica instead of Panama, Nicaragua, or wherever you might be considering to go live and retire in another country. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and let us know anything. Put your comments and questions down below, and make sure that you check out that other video that gives you more details. We can't wait to see you again in our next video, where we talk about living in Costa Rica.